This is the Black Mirror project by David Jonathan, and unfortunately not Nicholas Mavrasis this time. This is a crazy project. It has a ton of magic that you can do with just your iPhone's native features. And today I'm going to tell you everything you guys need to know about this project. If you guys are ready, sit back, grab your popcorn, and let's do a performance of one of my favorite routines from here. I'm going to show you guys my hands down favorite routine on the project, the Lotto Prediction. I'd go up to someone and say, hey, let's imagine we're going to the gas station. We're going to get a lottery ticket. And you stub your toe on the wall. What number would you put as the first number between 1 and 100? Let's say they go 17. 17, okay. Good choice. Now imagine you just got a new computer. What number would you put? 54, okay. 54, you put that on the lottery ticket. And let's say you forgot your keys in the house. What would you put? Oh, okay, 3. Great. Now just name a random number from 1 to 100. Let's randomize it. 76, okay. And let's do another random number. Let's say they say 13. And there's no restrictions with what they can name between 1 and 100. And finally, if you're feeling lucky, what's your lucky number? Anyone? 62, okay. That's great. Now the cool thing is, we weren't actually just playing a game. I was actually trying to influence you because in my phone, I have a picture in my photo gallery. It's one of my more recent photos here because my father went to the gas station and he bought a lotto ticket and I was influencing you to get the exact same numbers. See, there's a 3, there's a 13, there's a 17, a 54, a 62, and a 76. And I think that is nothing short of an absolute miracle. And that is the Lotto Prediction. I hope you guys all enjoyed that performance of the Lotto Prediction. If you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd like to let all Magic distributors and creators know if you want me to review your product, contact me at bfanmail@gmail.com. Now, without further ado, today I'm going to be giving you guys a completely unbiased Magic review of the Black Mirror project. And this is not to be confused with a Magic app. It's not a Magic app. It uses the real native features of an iOS iPhone device. It can also integrate with Magic apps, such as Greg Rastami's Inject, Shamir Salim's QR Genie, and Shamir's Hydra app. What do you get when you buy the Black Mirror project? When you buy the Black Mirror project, you will not be receiving gimmicks. You won't get any physical products unless you want to. There's an option where you can buy it on Penguin, and all you'll get is the pamphlet with the instructions, I believe. And so you won't get any gimmicks though. It's an instant download. What you will receive is the instant download, and the downloads will include a setup guide, some printable graphics and templates for the birthday gift and vacation routines, and of course, the tutorial. What is the quality of the gimmick? This does not use any gimmicks. However, you will have to set up your iPhone to do this. It's not really an app, as I mentioned. However, it is using some of the iPhone features that aren't really that well known. There are printable graphic sheets with vacation and birthday gifts, but I wouldn't really consider those gimmicks. You'll have to color print them yourself or use a black and white printer. But again, I wouldn't consider them gimmicks. They're just pamphlets. Now, the actual system, let's talk about the system. The system is insane. David Jonathan is a genius. He's completely leveled up shortcuts. And it's so good. You do have to set it up on your phone. It should take you about an hour or so if you do follow David Jonathan's instructions with your phone in hand. Although David made the shortcuts ready to download onto your phone, unfortunately, you'll have to download them one at a time because there's no way to add them all onto your phone at once. To me, it's unbelievable that the iPhone can do so many things in just a couple of seconds. It's crazy. Each effect has multiple different methods that can be used to accomplish them. Some of them include that something that you can add that you will have to buy off of Amazon for about $8 to make this extra clean. It is not by any means necessary for any of the effects, but it does make it so much more clean and hands-off. None of the tricks needed. But again, I love to use it because it's cheap and makes it super hands-off. There is something I wanted to mention that David covers in the tutorial. The most recent iPhone update does have a little bug with the book test routine. So the original book test method won't work. However, David Jonathan so kindly gave everyone a workaround for the bug in the tutorial. It is a different method to accomplish the effect, but to the spectator, the trick is pretty much the exact same. With some magic apps, people might think you're using an app or the phone is the method that allows you to accomplish the effect. Is this the case with the Black Mirror project? I don't think that if you perform this properly, I don't think that people should think the routines are accomplished with the phone as the method, especially the birthday gift routine, the vacation routine, and the lotto effect, because your phone is just a prediction. It's not where the action is actually happening. The action is happening when they pick a spot from the vacation pamphlet, or when they're picking a birthday gift, or writing the numbers on the lotto card, or the blank card. That's where the action's happening. It's away from the phone. The phone is only brought in to introduce the prediction. So I think especially those effects, it's very unlikely people will think there's an app or something in play with the phone. I think it's more likely or more possible if you're doing the routines like the Google Map one or the lock screen prediction, because some may think the method uses the phone, because if they're trying to figure out the effect, it's so impossible that the only logical explanation is that the phone is somehow doing it when they're typing in their information on the Notes app. I don't think it's too big of an issue, however, but for some of the routines, people just might have that idea in their back of their head. But again, I wouldn't worry about it as a performer. Do any of the effects require Wi-Fi? Only 2 of the 7 possible routines that you can perform with this require Wi-Fi. The ones that need Wi-Fi are the photo prediction and the Google Maps effect. The tricks that don't need Wi-Fi are the book test, the lottery prediction, the birthday gift, the word peak, and the vacation effects. So what do you need to provide in order to be able to do Black Mirror? In order to do all of the routines required in Black Mirror, you will need an iPhone that has to support at least iOS 13 or above, preferably 17 or above. This absolutely will not work if you have an Android. If you have an Android, do not buy this effect, because you'll quickly realize that this will not work for you. You also need a color or black and white printer for the vacation and birthday gift routine, because for those 2 routines, you have to print out the included graphics with the project. You need a Sharpie and blank cards or a Post-it pad for the lotto routine. And finally, you'll need an item. It's optional, but you can get an item from Amazon that makes the handling so much more hands-off, so you don't even really have to touch the phone much, and it makes it much more clean. You can pick it up for less than $10, and you can do the book test. You can be like 10 feet away and still do the book test. It's insane. Whereas if you don't have that item, you have to be a little bit more hands-on with your audience. How is the tutorial? The tutorial's over 3.5 hours long. It's great. David Jonathan has good audio and video. He has a blue background. And when going through everything with how to set up the phone, the iPhone is very clear. You can see everything on it, all the icons, all the widgets. And the tutorial also comes with a PDF setup guide for Black Mirror, in case you don't want to watch all the videos. You also get graphics and templates for the 2 routines, birthday gift and vacation routines. You get an intro video, you get the iPhone setup video, an important message from David Jonathan, the book test introduction, you get the book test routine, an alternate book test because iPhones right now have that bug, the Lotto effect, Google Maps effect, the photo prediction, birthday gift, word peak routines, the vacation routine, and you'll learn how to integrate other apps. You'll then see the iOS 17 versus pre-17 comparisons, because this works best on iOS 17 or above, but this only works on iOS 13 and above, but it works even better on iOS 17 and above. And then finally, there's the outro. The tutorial is great. You should watch the full explanation on how to set up the phone. You won't want to skip ahead. You'll want to watch the whole thing. That part's about 45 minutes long. And yeah, the tutorial is very high quality. There are multiple camera angles, clear video, clear audio, and David is very articulate. The PDF has a lot of extra notes, and not all of these notes are in the tutorial. The PDF's 19 pages long, and I recommend that you watch the tutorial and read the PDF so you can fully understand the project. But if you'd rather just watch the tutorial, you should still be fine. Also, I spoke with David and he mentioned that in the future, the very near future, the troubleshooting section will be a part of the project's installation, because there's a system that David includes that lets you install all of his things onto your phone. So he's gonna add the troubleshooting section to that installer. David will also be adding some updated lotto ticket images and the accompanying shortcuts. And there are already, I believe, 2 lotto formats, one UK one and one US one. So yeah, the installer will be updated sometime soon. Is this a social media or real life effect? The effect is not for social media, it's for real life. There aren't really any visual moments that you could put on socials unless you're just putting up a reaction of how the people are reacting when you unveil your prediction. What are the angles like with this? The angles depend on the effect you're doing. I'd say the angles are about 180 degrees for the lotto effect, vacation effect, and birthday gift routines. You wouldn't want people to see your phone screen before you've done what you need to do. After that though, which takes about 3 seconds long, the angle shouldn't matter for those effects. All the other effects, including the book test, Google Maps, photo prediction, and surprisingly, even the word peak, you can be completely surrounded, which is crazy. You get the peak right in front of your audience, and it hides in plain sight, which is really good. Live performances. Are there live performances in the tutorial? Yes. There are multiple live performances at the beginning before the effects are taught with Javier Former. Is this examinable? The phone is examinable after the effect. If you're doing the book test, they can check the ebook is real. They can check the Google Maps is really open for the maps routine. The photo prediction, they can check that the photo you predicted really is on your lock screen. It's your real lock screen. For the vacation, lotto, and birthday gift routines, they can check to make sure the image really is in your gallery and it's not a fake image. They can even go see what tabs you have opened on your phone, and no apps are there. There's no Black Mirror app there. They won't find anything. So yes, the phone can be examined, but it's not like they'll want to go through, oh, I'm going to go through this app. Oh, there must be something here. I'm going through this app, this app. No, I don't think that'll happen. Now let's talk about the difficulty and practicality of this effect. Well, of the 7 effects. How difficult is this? Well, before you even go to perform this, you'll need to add David Jonathan's shortcuts to your phone. David has made them for you, but you have to add each shortcut individually to your phone. if you go phone in hand and watch David's explanation, this should not be too difficult, especially if you are well versed with phones. If you're a bit slower with phones, the setup might take a bit longer. You have to do everything exactly how David does it. I went on the Magic Cafe and saw some people complaining that they took 4 hours to set this up and they had felt like they were building the app themselves. No, this shouldn't take 4 hours. It should take an hour or so, max 2 hours if you're a bit slower with the tech. This is also very practical. And the difficulty, the tricks themselves are really easy. If you can just use the regular features of an iPhone, if you can type, if you can do all of that, if you can just tap buttons, you should be able to do this. But yeah, this is also very practical. It works very, very well in close-up situations. Not all of the effects require a table. So this is great for close-up, it's great for walk-around magic, and it's great for casual performances too, because you always have this on you. But yeah, it's very practical and it's not too difficult to do. Is there any DIY with this? Black Mirror by David Jonathan does not have any DIY, unless you'd consider adding everything to your phone DIY, which I guess it could be considered that. But you do have to set up your phone, as I mentioned, but I wouldn't say there's really DIY. Is there how much pocket space is required? That depends on the effect you're doing. For example, if you're going to be doing the Lotto effect, you need to carry around your phone. You need your phone for all the routines, but for the Lotto effect, you need your phone, some blank cards or a Post-it pad, and a Sharpie. For the vacation or birthday gift routines, you just need to carry your phone and the pamphlet for the routine you want to do. For the rest of the effects, all you need to carry around is your phone, which is great. This is an EDC. No one leaves home without their phone. So if you're only planning on doing like the image on your lock screen effect, or if you're doing the word peek, all you need to do is bring your phone, or the Google Maps routine, just the phone is needed. What is the reset like? The reset for all the effects can happen right in front of your audience, and you set up in front of your audiences too. The setup takes about 3 seconds. You can say, let me check, because we're going to try something interesting. Oh yes, we're going to do this. And you'd say that right before the Lotto effect. Then you'd set the phone down, you'd go into the routine, you have them pick numbers, and then you reveal how you'd influence them, and you go into the gallery and show that you purchased a lottery ticket a few days prior that had the numbers that they put. And the cool thing is that then the date on the lottery ticket really is a few days ago or a couple days ago, and they can see it. It's a great subtlety. There are so many nice subtleties with this for many of the routines. The date of the photos in the gallery, it's not like the photo says taken just now. There's actually time before it was taken. It was taken some time back. And that is the case for multiple of the routines. And also, you'll see that there are photos that were taken after that effect, which is, David Jonathan was so devious adding that in. He's such a genius. Because it makes it look like those are just some photos you took. And, I took the lottery photo, and then I took some photos of my meals or coffee, and that'll show up in your gallery. Now, what is the price of Black Mirror? The Black Mirror project can be bought from your favorite Murphy's Magic dealer, and it currently retails for $40 US. You get 7 routines and David's system. Is this worth it? Absolutely. I think this is a bargain for all the routines you would get, and it could have cost double the price, and I would have bought it if it did. The effects are powerful. Imagine having a killer prediction of a lotto, instant peek that can happen surrounded, a map prediction, and a book test all in one pocket. It's great. The pros and cons now. For the pros, many routines are taught. David is very responsive to questions. You can DM him and he'll answer your questions about this. There are also some troubleshooting, some fixes to some issues you may have. The price is just great. There's app integration possible with some other apps. Multiple languages are supported. This is an amazing EDC, everyday carry. The tutorial's good. The effects are powerful. Many effects can happen when surrounded. There's very little pocket space required. This is pretty easy to do. The internet is not required for all the routines, only for 2 of them. This uses native iOS features. It's not like an app or something. There are lots of kickers with these effects. It's unlikely that spectators think the phone is the method for most of them. And also, there's just so many subtleties, so much work David Jonathan has put into this. And you can see it when you see all these little Easter eggs with the phone, with the gallery, with how the date shows that it was taken a few days ago, and how there are actually photos that were taken after that prediction. You see all that, you just see how much time David Jonathan has spent on this, and it's really amazing. It just shows. Now the cons are that, and this is a big con for a lot of people, this only works on iPhones, no Android, which is a big con for Android users. Because if you have an Android, you cannot do any of these amazing effects. And also, a couple routines for this need internet. Some routines, like the Google Maps routine, also people may think that somehow the Google Maps is connected to the Notes app, even though you're not touching the phone. But that's just some people might think, because how in the world, out of the tons of locations in the world, how are you predicting that on Google Maps? There's only, in some people's mind, one logical explanation, and that is that there is an app. But yeah, that's a con. And also, this won't work on older iPhones, as well as there is a bit of a setup, which might be hard, and it's a one-time setup. You only have to do it once, but it might be a bit harder if you aren't too familiar with technology. But what percent do I give this? Black Mirror was so well thought out. This is almost 100% going to be one of my favorite effects this year. It's already one of my top 10 favorite tricks this year. It gets a 96% for me. It is just mind-blowing that this can all happen on your phone. I think it is one of the best iPhone tricks or phone tricks that has came out in so long. If this is right for you, if you have an iPhone, you have to get this. Just trust me on this one. You will not be disappointed. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch it, and see you next time.